Hello, I'm Rosalind Nieves. Welcome to TSINY's The Mieles Ribbon Cutting, located at 16101 89th Avenue, right here in Jamaica, Queens. TSINY is known for helping individuals with mental illness have a place that they can call home and rediscover themselves.
I'm Ave McCracken, Associate Director for Public Affairs and Fundraising, and I am so happy that you are all here today. We are thrilled that you came to celebrate this milestone at Transitional Services for New York. Thank you, and I just want to thank the staff because I could not have made this happen without you. So you guys have been amazing, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. And I'd like to invite our President of the Board of Directors, Abby Goldstein, please.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. It is an honor to be here. It's a very happy event. We have a lot of guests. For me, it's especially rewarding and gratifying. We read so often about homelessness, people with psychiatric illness wandering the streets, on our subways. It affects us, the quality of life, but it's heartrending, obviously, for the people involved. So now, because of the efforts of really virtually everybody here, we're able to put together something that should make us all proud. That is the solution to homelessness. It's a small part of it, but this is where the rubber meets the road. Is that a good cliche to use? Thank you. We should be happy, feel good about ourselves because we're doing the right thing, and we're going to do it more often going forward. My real role, besides being a figurehead here for TSI, is to introduce Larry. And I do want to say that that too is a great honor. Without joking in any way, Larry is the heart and soul of TSI. And we're very lucky to have him. There are many others who contribute, the staff as was indicated, but it is an honor to work for Larry. He's so important to TSI that if we were, I prepared this in advance, what I'm going to say now, if we were a for-profit entity and we heard that he had a cold in the morning, the stock price would go down 20%. That's pretty good, right? Anyway, I love working with Larry, with the board. Carol's here, Paul's here. Raise your hand. They're on the board also. Glad to have them. No further ado, I'm going to introduce Larry. And thank you all.
There's so many people to thank, and I really don't want to mess it up. And I have some cheat sheet notes. So I'm going to start to go down the list and hope I don't miss anybody. I want to thank the New York State Office of Mental Health. Dr. Ann Sullivan is here for their support. Actually, it's all in your program as well. I just want to announce it. The Department of Housing Preservation and Development, amazingly supportive. The Community Preservation Corporation, Redstone Equity Partners, TD Bank, CSH, the Corporation for Supported Housing. I didn't pick out all the colors, but I have a really great partner. Amy Gross Architects and her staff, Alex, Maury, Peggy, and all the subcontractors. If you're here, just wave. I know that they're here. They did that. Artemis Development, Sally Green is our owner's rep. Mary Beth McNerney Matta is our tax credit consultant. The engineering firms. There was an event sponsor for today's lunch. QPTV, as always, thank you for being here and filming us. We want to acknowledge all the elected officials who are going to speak in a minute that are here. A special thank you to the Borough President's Office for providing funding, and he'll talk about it, I'm sure, for this project, and I'm really excited about that because we got extra stuff for that. And all the staff of TSI. I want to say thank you for making this happen. It's a big deal. I told Joe I wasn't going to cry. He said, as long as you don't break down, it's okay. But I want to thank all the staff, and we did it again. So thank you. You deserve a lot of praise. Housing is a right. privilege, it's a right. And people now have a right to housing because of what you've all done. And you deserve thanks and praise for that. We have people that are elderly that are living here, people that came directly from the shelters. You're going to learn more about that. I want to give a special thank you to the Mieles family. Eleanor Mieles and Lena Herzog are leaving a legacy forever for their family. And I wanted, when exploring why it was so important to Eleanor, she explained that her parents' home, the Mieles, was a place where people who were unwelcome in many other family homes were embraced. Eleanor and Jean taught them to respect people who were different, especially those who had challenges. Eleanor stated, "I remember my mother explaining to me when I was a little girl that I shouldn't be afraid of Uncle Arthur, or Cousin Arthur." I had an Uncle Sonny, that's why I said that, who had the same, even if he behaved in ways that seemed strange. It was important to her that our home be a place where he would feel safe and welcome. Little did I know that he would be more than a cousin, he would be a lifelong friend. And now they are leaving a legacy in honor of their family, a place where people will feel safe, like your mother taught you, and welcome forever. It's permanent housing. Big deal. I want to bring up Father Parker, who is going to start us off with a blessing. He is from the Grace Episcopal Church.
Let us pray. God, our eternal Father, we assemble before you this day for the ribbon cutting for this building. And we invoke your Spirit upon us as we celebrate the opening of this facility, providing a home and the necessary support spaces for over 70 homeless individuals with psychiatric disabilities and low and middle income adults over the age of 62. And we thank the Mieles family for this abundant gift towards this mission. The Transitional Services of New York provides the caring, and in their vision, which I see behind me, Lord, we help people rediscover themselves. The caring for our brothers and sisters as being consistent with your word and your example. Father, we pray you will refresh our minds and our hearts in this caring. And let this facility be an example, an inspiration to everyone that walks its halls. In your name, amen.
I want to bring up Dr. Ann Sullivan from the State Office of Mental Health, who's also speaking on behalf of the governor, I understand. So thank you.
Thank you. First of all, on behalf of Governor Hochul, I just want to congratulate you. Everyone who's been a part of making this happen, thank you, the Mieles family. Thank you, everyone at TSI, Larry and Abby Goldstein, and all the staff who make this happen each and every day. Governor Hochul truly believes that this kind of work, that having homes like this for individuals is so critical in the state, and she has supported it, and she will continue to support it. And she really wishes she could be here today, but you know things can get a little bit crazy in Albany. I would also just like to thank all of you on behalf of the Office of Mental Health as well. I know we work very closely with TSI. I used to work at Elmhurst and Queens hospitals when I was before this job in Queens, and I worked closely with TSI then on our clients that were discharged from our inpatient service into wonderful places like this. This is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful place. I've been around a long time, and when I first worked in mental health, there was nothing like this. There were no homes like this. There was no open space. There were no beautiful fountains. The mentally ill who were discharged from the state hospitals were living in substandard housing and shelters all across the state. We've made tremendous steps to change that, and this is one of the beautiful ones. To just see this today is just wonderful, and the lives that you've changed by doing this is just so impressive. So yes, people do thrive. Thank you for the community accepting it Every community doesn't accept housing like this. You may wonder why, but they don't. So thank you to the community, and for the community accepting our clients and helping them to live full and successful lives and fulfill their hopes and dreams. And a place like this lets you fulfill your hopes and dreams. So thank you. It's wonderful to be here, and I really appreciate being invited. And again, on behalf of the governor, thank you for everything you do.
Next, Nancy Hernandez, the Deputy Controller for Diversity Management, Office of the State Controller, has quickly become a friend of Transitional Services, and we're so pleased that she's here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings to all of you on behalf of our State Controller, Tom DiNapoli, who couldn't be here, and I know he wishes he could be here in many places just like the governor, but very busy. We certainly want to thank TSI's staff, family, because without them, we know a lot of this could not occur for their services and care for the people they serve and the community. We certainly want to congratulate, but thank Larry, as well as the board of directors, the Mieles family, state and local officials for all the support, because it does take a community like us, as well as the outsiders. And what an example. It was overdue. But some of the statements that the controller wishes me to share is basically that homelessness is a problem affecting communities virtually in every corner of the state, not just New York City. The population being served deserve to be housed and placed in a dignified and safe setting. The Mieles, along with the Delson, should be looked upon as a start towards a solution for homelessness among the aging population and those suffering from mental illness. Providing a safe place, a haven, to get back a sense of dignity and safety is one of the pillars for recovery needed, and a mission being addressed here today. Controller DiNapoli commends and congratulates Transitional Services, Inc. for all its efforts and thanks them deeply. Thank you.
From the Office of the Mayor of the City of New York, Kevin Morris, the Queensborough Director, Community Affairs.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I will, of course, start with an obvious statement. I am not the mayor of New York City. But however, I am the Queensborough Director for the Mayor's Community Affairs Unit, and I bring greetings on behalf of the 110th Mayor of New York City, the Honorable Eric Adams. And so the mayor wanted to share today that he is sorry that he could not be here in person, but he wanted to congratulate Transitional Services for this amazing structure that we have in front of us. And that in our efforts to make New York City the fairest and most equitable city in the world, it comes down to places like this and the work that is being done here. This community is so important to us. And when I say community, I mean that in both senses of the word. I mean that in terms of the geographical area that we are in and the people that reside within that community. So often, the intersections between psychiatric disabilities and homelessness has not been understood and has not been taken care of. And so we thank TSI for building places like this that allow us to address those issues in our communities. And so, as the Queensborough Director, I make it my solemn vow on behalf of the administration that we will do everything in our power to support efforts like this, to support this community, and whatever it is that this community needs, we will be here to provide resources, help, and support. So once again, congratulations to all of you for what we have done here today, and we look forward to being a partner with you all moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have a list of needs in the back, so I'll be touching bases with you. We'll talk afterwards. Gotcha. A good friend of Transitional Services from the New York City Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, Martha Jackson, is here, the Assistant Commissioner.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Martha Jackson, Assistant Commissioner. Is this on? Yeah? You can hear? Yeah. Assistant Commissioner for the New York City Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities. And on behalf of our brand new Commissioner, Christina Curry, I am here to say thank you. Not just for Christina Curry and the staff of MOPD, or MOPED as a lot of people like to call us, it's for the community in which we serve. So for the past 7 years, I've been able to really get to know Larry and Ave, and they've been great partners to MOPD and great partners to me personally. So I am very honored to be here today. And I have some notes, but as I was coming up here, it dawned on me that this is the 50th anniversary of the exposition or expose to Willowbrook. And this is how people with disabilities and people with mental health illnesses were housed 50 years ago. And look where we are today. It takes all of us to help each of us. And as Kevin said, we used to be corridor mates back at 100 Gold Street. As Kevin said, whatever services, whatever support, whatever kindnesses we can share, please know that we're here for you. And one more thing to the family. You know, when you open your door, you never know what you're going to find. But the one thing that we always understand is that no matter your disability, no matter where you live, no matter how you get there, there is no place like home. Thank you for making this home available to so many of our New Yorkers.
I've quickly learned, I've been doing this job for 30 years, and yeah, you're all wondering how old could he possibly be, because I'm doing this job for 30 years, but I never called a borough president a friend. And I'm really honored to introduce Donovan Richards, the borough president of Queens, and I do consider him a friend. So please, the mic is yours.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Larry. In TSI, I don't hear y'all. What a beautiful morning, well, afternoon now, to do this. And I couldn't think of a more important time to cut a ribbon on a facility such as this, especially coming out of the pandemic. It's not hard to really look outside the doors of this building, to move around the city and see what's going on, how many of the issues that have been swept under a rug, quite frankly, for decades have been exacerbated, how these issues around homelessness and mental health, things that naturally have a stigma attached to them, how those things have not been addressed. But on a day like this, I am so proud of what TSI has accomplished here. Think about the 70 families in this building who no longer are living in shelters, temporary shelters at that. Think about how their lives have been impacted by this facility, by this home, the home they can call home now, where they can have permanent housing. This is what we need to do in our city and state, and I'm proud of what TSI is doing. You sort of think of how on this morning I saw the mayor up, and I know we'll be touring some of the hotels. Migrants are being bussed in to New York City as we speak to. I don't like calling them migrants, but our neighbors, our brothers and sisters who are in need, how they now will need permanent housing, and how we need to do more of this. And this is why my office was proud to put $500,000 into this project. And we're not stopping here. I've already committed to Larry that we're going to do $1 million for the next building already, because we have to put our money where our mouth is as leaders. It's abundantly clear we're in an affordable housing crisis, where too many of our families and our most vulnerable neighbors are in fear of losing their homes or are having a hard time finding one to begin with. So as Larry alluded to, housing is a human right. And no matter what your socioeconomic status is, no matter what zip code you live in, everybody deserves to have quality housing, and that's what you're providing here on this day. You know, as we talk about the revitalization of Jamaica, there's a lot of new development going on. As we move towards the future, you cannot move towards the future without addressing the systemic issues that have plagued this community going back to the past. And it's funny coming back here as borough president because I was a little knucklehead in high school, Jamaica High School, and I used to get mentored right across the street from this building, actually. So it's like a full circle moment to be here this afternoon. But in closing, this is what we need to do as a city. Our mayor says it. Our governor has said it. We need to make sure we're investing in those who are in need. They're not looking necessarily for a handout, but a hand up. Everybody needs help. We have to shed this stigma of not helping our brothers and sisters who are in trauma. And this is the solution to doing just that. So I want to thank you, thank TSI. Please know that you have our unwavering support. And we're not stopping here because we saw and toured Creedmoor's campus and saw what you were doing there. And I'm making a pledge here today. Come hell or high water, I don't care what happens, that we're going to fix the issues at Creedmoor, and we're going to work to make sure that we can provide first-class services to those. I am not worried about the political implications. I didn't come here for that. I came here to make sure that those who are least amongst us, as your mother did, as Eleanor did, as she leaves this legacy here today, to make sure that they have a better life and have the right to to better housing. So with that being said, God bless you all. Thank you for doing God's work, to you and your staff. Look forward to the work ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. It does take a community, and this community has been extremely supportive. I want to bring up Yvonne Riddick and Reverend Thorbs, who just would say a few words. They have been extremely supportive of our efforts and housing efforts, specifically in this area. So you want to come on up?
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yvonne Reddick, District Manager of Board 12, and I had to be here today to say congratulations to TSI. I have visited, I think, all the sites in Board 12, and always impressed. And always hearing from, and I'm going to call you Larry today, always impressed. When Larry calls, I know something good is happening. And I will now yield this to my chairperson, but to the staff. I'm working with them and listening to them. It's a pleasure to work with them. And as long as I am the district manager of Board 12, you certainly have my support. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Reverend Carlene Thorbs. I'm the current chair of Community Board 12. I will make this brief. It has been my honor to watch this building go up to the Mieles family. Thank you for your dream. Thank you for your passion. And thank you for thinking enough that when you put your fingerprint on this community, you did a wonderful job. You brought quality. And that has always been a concern of mine, from sitting on the chair for over 10 years to now being the chair. Our fight has always been the quality. And it says a lot about you as a family and as a community that you would bring that to this community, because we're dealing with people that are just disenfranchised as it is. We have to do better. It's our responsibility. Everyone that has a job in any agency, it is our responsibility while we're in these positions to do our best, to bring our best, and to do what we would want done for our own family members and for ourselves. We can't do any less. We can't get caught up in the minutia. We have to be able to walk away and say, this is what we did. This is how we set things straight. For over the years, I've sat and listened to politicians, and things go from one year to another and never change. But I can honestly say, with this borough president, I am seeing changes. I am seeing things happen. And he knows I don't say that too lightly, because I'll tell him one way or the other how I feel. But this is a difference. We have to be proud. And yes, Mr. Larry, you're making everybody cry. We're all crying back here, because I even think of my mother, who is no longer with us. She would be proud to see something like this. We have to make a difference. We have to make sure on our watch that things get done. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. From the Department of Housing Preservation and Development, I want to ask Ross Karp to come up.
Okay, I'll be fast. So there's a lot of people to talk left. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to be here on behalf of HPD Commissioner Adolfo Carrion and the whole team at HPD. Today, we're opening the doors to 70 affordable homes, 42 of which are supportive for formerly homeless New Yorkers. It means some of our most vulnerable now have a safe and stable home of their own, with a mission-driven service provider on site to provide comprehensive, recovery-oriented supportive services. We are incredibly thankful to the TSI staff who will be here day in and day out, getting to know residents by name and empowering them to thrive in their new homes. Financed by HPD's Supportive Housing Loan Program, this building reflects the goals of Mayor Adams' Housing Our Neighbors blueprint, the first city housing plan to cover the entire spectrum of New Yorkers' housing needs and options. The blueprint includes a commitment to accelerate the creation of supportive housing and complete the 15,000 supportive homes promised by 2028, 2 years ahead of the previous schedule. This is an acknowledgement of the fact that supportive housing is one of the most effective tools we have to address homelessness in New York City. And we are so glad to have dedicated partners to work alongside to make sure we're putting New Yorkers first, many of whom we're hearing from today. And of course, thanks to TSI and the entire development team, including our colleagues at the city and the state, and elected officials for sharing our commitment to vulnerable New Yorkers. Now, 70 households have a beautiful home to call their own. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Lauren Velez from the Associate Director of the Corporation for Supported Housing.
Hi, everyone. I am Lauren Velez. I'm the Associate Director for New York on the Metro team at the Corporation for Supportive Housing. CSH, for anyone who is unfamiliar, is a supportive housing intermediary in that we work with communities all over the country to help develop and implement supportive housing solutions to address homelessness in the communities. We are so grateful and proud to be part of this project by providing $3.5 million in pre-development and acquisition funding. Supportive, thank you. Larry didn't do it all. Just kidding. Supportive housing is such a critical need and a critical component of really addressing homelessness in communities all over, but especially in New York. And we are just so grateful that so many New Yorkers will be able to come home. And not just come home, but come home to a place that is beautiful, safe, and dignified. So thank you so much.
Matthew Schatz from TD Bank, this Vice President, Senior Relationship Manager.
Hi, everyone. TD Bank, I'm supposed to give a commercial about how many tens of millions we put into this deal, et cetera. Those numbers don't matter to me that much. What matters is that there's 70 new homes for people who need them. And we're very excited to be a part of that. As a banker that does this kind of work, if you can't get excited about projects like this, you can't really do the work. It's too hard. So congratulations and good wishes to all of the new residents that will be living here.
Nina is the assistant manager of our bookstore, and she'll tell you about her experience just a little bit.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. I'm going to try my best to power through my speech and not cry and turn into a bumbling mess, but I don't promise. I don't make any promises. Before I start my speech, I really wanted just to say this experience is so amazing to see the Mieles building just being, it's just so beautiful. All the people, all the corporations, all the money, everything, all the experiences. I'm just so excited and proud and happy. I actually met one of the residents today, David. He's really amazing and he's so happy and oh my God, I'm just so happy. I'm sorry. Let me just read my speech. All right. Afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and celebrating TSI's new building, the Mieles. As a formerly homeless person, I understand and empathize with the anxiety and turmoil of being homeless brings. However, I also understand that my experience with homelessness and living in a shelter is not necessarily the universal experience. and that many others choose to stay on the streets for a multitude of reasons, such as shelter overcrowding, the inability to take their belongings, possibility of violence, possibility of infestation, and other negative scenarios. I became homeless around 2008 and eventually found my way to a youth shelter in the city called Covenant House. I had a lot of negative thoughts about going into a shelter. I had to kind of prepare myself because I thought it was just going to be a really negative and dangerous situation. However, when I arrived to Covenant House, my preconceptions melted away. The staff there were really welcoming. And the people that I came in contact with weren't dangerous. They were all girls like me who came from lots of different scenarios. Some of them were runaways. Some of them were thrown out of their homes because of pregnancy or their sexuality. And the Covenant House staff really gave us a semblance of normalcy. There were church meetings, there were trips, there were musical performances. So it was kind of a home away from home. Or a new home for us, a new beginning for us. And then from the Covenant House, I was sent to Monica House, which is now the Mieles, this amazing building that's housing so many families and people that need the housing. And the staff here at Monica House before the Mieles, they were also welcoming. My first caseworker, Ruth, was really kind to me and opening to me and just, showed me that I could, start my life. And now I work at TSINY at their bookstore called Turn the Page Again. I'm the assistant manager there. I've been there for 12 years now, going on 13. Jesus, I'm old. I've cultivated my family, and I have friends that I love. Some of them that came from Monica House, actually. I actually went to one of my friend's house over the weekend, Ingrid, and we've been friends for many years now. And I just wanted to say that I'm really happy that this building could be built as a vessel to just help provide houses and just a home and a neighborhood and a community for the people that are fortunate enough to be living here. So again, I wanted to thank everyone, especially the Mieles family, and everything they've done and everything we've all done, and TSI, and I'm just so happy and proud to be a part of this whole everything. Legacy, I guess. Thank you so much.
Go, Nina. That's what she's. Go, Nina. That was very well done. Thank you. The next four people that I'm going to introduce, I actually get to call friends as well, and they're elected officials, so I'm really happy to call them friends. I'm going to ask Ed Braunstein, the New York State Assemblyman, to come up.
Thank you very much, Larry. And it's an honor to be here for such a tremendous celebration. And I want to thank the Mieles family, of course, and everybody from TSI, but everybody. A building like this takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of money. And everybody here collectively made this day possible. Moving forward, 70 families will have safe, secure, permanent housing. And Larry, you have every reason to be proud. I could see the pride. And he looked over to his staff earlier and said, "We did it again." This is not the first ribbon cutting we've been to. I was there when you opened the Delson and when you've opened other facilities. And Larry, you've shown the ability to get things done. And I think moving forward, we should encourage others to replicate your model. And I think we should also, hopefully you'll continue to do this work throughout the city with the support of everybody, with the support of the borough president. And I just want to let you all know that I will continue to be an ally in the state legislature anytime I'm called upon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A long-term friend of Transitional Services, Assemblyman David Weprin.
Thank you, Larry, and thank you, Ave and Abby Goldstein. And I am so proud of my affiliation, not just as an elected official, but prior to that with TSI. I've actually been involved with TSI for over 30 years. Before I became an elected official 21 years ago, first in the city council and now in the assembly, I was on TSI's board. And I saw firsthand the work that they did in the community throughout the city, and a project like this, the Mieles, is really a model for not only Queens and New York City, but the entire state and country. This is an unbelievable, beautiful building, and with the cause of servicing over 70 homeless families, individuals that really need the help. And I've been involved in disability advocacy and projects like this for many, many years. And I, too, want to thank the Mieles family for making this a reality, and the real partnership between government and the private sector that enables projects like this to happen. So once again, there's plenty of thanks to go around to everyone, but I am just so proud and honored to be part of a beautiful project like this, and I look forward to taking the tour after the ceremony. Thank you.
Speaker Adams was not able to be here, but Ty Hankerson is here representing. Oh, there he is. Hi, welcome, Ty. Thank you for showing up. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Vicky Palladino to come up. She is a new friend and new to Transitional Services, and has been extremely supportive, and we want to acknowledge and thank her.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to say thank you. What you did here today was you built a house of hope. Hope. When you look out and you see what's going on with the homeless crisis that we have, I've often said, I've been around a long time too, and I've seen a lot of failures in the system. I've seen a lot of money getting thrown at things that just don't work. This is something that works. When I met Larry and Ave when they came to my office, I knew about transitional services because my family's had its issues as well. We talked about stigmas today. We talked about dignity today. And that's what it's all about. You see, you can't just take a shot glass of water and turn it over Niagara Falls. And that's what's going on a lot in today's city government. We cannot have that any longer. I am proud to be working with an administration like Mayor Adams' administration. When I hear Mayor Adams speak, we have a lot of things in common in the sense that you cannot just put somebody in a place, in a shelter, and not service those people. What will happen to those people? They will be back on the street. It's been a turnstile system for decade after decade now. And this is the way we start, right here with a house of hope, a house that will service and give people the warmth that they need, the safety they require, but most important, help to transition people back into our society. These are people that are useful. These are people who have a brain. These are people who need to be made to feel that they are worth something. They're not throwaway. You cannot treat human beings as if they are just throwaway items, but that's how they've been treated, and that's how they've been made to feel. So I look forward to working much more with Donovan. I too toured Creedmoor, and I know about Creedmoor a long time ago. There was a stigma attached to Creedmoor. We cannot look at Creedmoor anymore with that stigma. We must look at Creedmoor as an investment, because what we did here, we can do there. There's billions of dollars being spent. We need to look at how those billions of dollars are being spent, and instead of wasting billions of dollars, we must invest billions of dollars, because that's the way we are going to solve the crisis that we are in today. So thank you very much. As a city councilwoman, first go around, but I've been around a really long time, and you know, let's just stop it there. And I look forward to working with Larry, Ave, Donovan, and joining together with the mayor. And let's get this done, because it can happen. Thank you very much. Here's your proof.
Thank you so much. That was perfect. Thank you all for coming. Before you leave, there's lunch. We need you to eat, to take tours, and let's all go out front and we'll cut the ribbon. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you everyone for joining us. This building is called the Mieles, and the Mieles are right here, front and center. Borough President Riches, what do you think about this and the beautiful day and the event and everything that TSINY has accomplished today?
I think Miss Eleanor is smiling down. You could see we're here on a beautiful day. And, I think one of the things she would agree with us on is that you can't criminalize your way out of poverty. You got to build housing. Housing's a human right. You have to invest in people. You have to ensure that they have services. And you're accomplishing all of that and more today.
And I have to say, I know the Mieles a very long time, and they never brag about what they do. I want you to please just give me a few words, because I know them to be very humble people. Eleanor?
I just want to say that I think we're all so proud to put our name on this beautiful residence that will serve 70 needy people. And we hope we can be an inspiration to others to step forward and do their little bit to make homelessness a thing of the past.
And your husband, Joel Mieles, Miss Josephine?
He would be, I think, in seventh heaven now to see this beautiful building go up and helping those who need the help.
Leonard?
We've believed in the possibility of supportive housing as a solution for homelessness for 50 years. We're so proud to be a part of this being a reality today.
And one more thing, Borough President, oh my God, you dropped that information about added support for Creedmoor and then added support for TSINY and the services. What a wonderful thing on a wonderful day.
Yeah, people have talked about it a long time. We're in a moment. We're in a state of emergency. Now is the time to act, and we are going to work hard to make sure that that site is developed in a way that supports these communities and the community that surrounds the property as well. So looking forward to conversations around it. It's time to invest in people.
So Dr. Sullivan, thank you so much for joining me. What a wonderful day. How proud are you of Larry Gruber and the whole team, Avi McCracken and everyone, and what they've accomplished here?
They are terrific. They are terrific. And they have been doing this for decades. And this is like the pinnacle of what you guys have done. And it really makes a huge difference in the lives of the 70 individuals who are there and the community welcoming them. You don't just build the homes, you help individuals get back into the community, get work, begin to live full, really full, exciting lives. So the team is just terrific. You do wonderful, wonderful work every day. Every day.
I agree. Every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm with Assemblymember David Weprin and also George. Oh my God, we haven't seen you in a long time.
I'm around, you know.
You're around, right?
Yes.
So David, what do you think about the event tonight and the turnout and the accomplishments of TSINY?
This is wonderful. I've been involved with TSI for over 30 years. I was on the board for a number of years before I was an elected official, and I've been involved with them as an elected official, first in the city council, now in the assembly. And they're a wonderful organization. They really do God's work. They're very much involved in people with disabilities and mental illness, and they've gotten into supportive housing. And projects like this are really a model for the entire country, if not the world.
And George, when did you first become involved with TSINY and know about the services that they provide for the community?
Wow, I've been involved with TSI for more than 10 years. In my former life, I used to work with an organization that had clients that are, in TSI. So actually, I had to visit one of their sites on Sutton Boulevard every week just to see how the progress the clients were making. So to come and see this is really something that is refreshing, and I'm so happy that resources have been brought in to address some of the issues, homelessness, and the challenges that the clients that go to the program, have. So it's really a good thing, and I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm with Larry Grubler, the Chief Executive Officer for TSINY. Larry, thank you for joining me.
Roz, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
So Larry, you started with the Delson, and now you have the Mieles. How did you accomplish 2 buildings so quickly?
have to take a deep breath. I can't say it's been quickly because we actually opened up the Delsin in 2018. It's now 4 years later. I've been working on this project since 2016. And it just takes time, money, people, friends, all the stuff that goes with it, but I'm very excited.
So
and we have more projects coming, so stay tuned.
I was just about to ask about that because our borough president mentioned Creedmoor, mentioned giving money.
Yes.
And I know
we have it on tape now. That was thanks to you guys. But yeah, we're actually bought the property right next door to the Delsin, and we're going to be building 50 units there. And then probably another place in Jamaica and maybe on the grounds of Creedmoor. So I'm very excited about it.
So how many units are you looking to try to accomplish? So the Delsin had how many units?
The Delsin had 44.
And the Mieles had?
70.
And your next project will have?
Maybe 100.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's exciting. We have to do something about the problem that we have, and Transitional Services is doing something. And as somebody said during the speeches, where the rubber meets the road, we are doing it. So I'm very excited.
Thank you, Larry, for joining me.
Thank you, as always, Roz. It's a pleasure.
Jerome, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Jerome, so you're a new resident here. How does it feel to be in your own apartment here at the Mieles?
To be honest, I feel free. I can do what I need to do, so I can do what I want to do. This is just I'm still excited.
So, you know what? We're going to take a look at the apartments later and give a great tour of the apartments. And what about the services that you're going to be able to receive here? Are you excited about that too? They have all sorts of workshops and people here for services.
Yes, if I need help, I guess I could reach out to someone that would assist me in my journey still. That's what it is, a journey to me. It's my next journey. The next one will be best.
Well, congratulations, Jerome.
Thank you.
So, Nina, you are the best example of success. 12 years as a manager and working with TSINY. What do you want to say to our viewers out there?
What do I want to say to the viewers? I guess just try your best, follow your dreams. Don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, life can be difficult, but just reach out to your friends, your families, and that could be anyone that you care about. That could be your friend, that could be your chosen family, and have that support. And just try your best.
I would like to present Amy Gross Architects. This is a beautiful day for a beautiful ribbon cutting for TSINY. And Amy, you have to tell me about your team because this building is phenomenal.
Oh, it's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Well, one of the great things about being an architect is that it takes a team, right? It's like being an actor. If you don't have the audience, that doesn't exist. So it's my name on the company because I happened to start it 38 years ago, but it's a team that makes it happen. So there's some of us here that were here to celebrate this. There's others that are not. And we are not only a team of people that work at our firm, but to make this building happen, we had electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, structural engineers, fire alarm consultants, lighting consultants, graphic artists, furniture dealers. It takes a huge, huge village to make a building. But I want to introduce you to Maury Tamron, who is a senior associate at our firm. Maury and I have worked together for 26 years, and she is the chief designer of the building. And Alex LaFurla, who is the project manager, who is the one every day for over almost 4 years that worked on the development of the drawings and then worked with the contractor, and then made sure that the building was built the way it was designed. And then also to introduce you to the team is Amelia and Tiffany and Betty, Alex, myself, Maury, Peggy, and Shanae, who's a guest, who is an artist that is working with us on this project. So it's a lot of people.
A lot of people. And what type of collaboration is needed to put a building like this together? You said it took 4 years. So what type of collaboration? And tell us a little bit about some of the building components that's used, the materials, because I walked through there and oh my God, I was like, that's not granite. I don't know what it is. It's just gorgeous. I have no clue. I'm looking at the brick and it's beautiful and it has a shine, but yet it's not too shiny. So there's a lot of special materials that went into this project. And this floor to ceiling windows that allows light to shine in and people to feel good about themselves because it's not all walls.
That's right. Well, I'm so happy that you noticed that because everything that we do is about making people happy and in the belief that beauty makes people's lives better. And I often think, when someone says, oh, I went on vacation and I went to Venice to look at the beautiful buildings, they don't say, I went to Venice to meet the Italians. They go there because they want that experience of the architecture and the urban experience and to feel the density and see the fountains and see the glass. And in a sense, that's our responsibility as an architect, right, is to make something that is an experience, not just a moment of, oh, that looks good. So the way you do that is by working with materials and taking the most basic materials because the most basic materials are the least expensive materials. So brick is the oldest material there is. It's 5,000 years old, so it must be doing something right. And it has a sustainability characteristic. It captures light beautifully. It embarks a sense of permanence. And so we work with these basic materials in a way which keeps it affordable, but also hopefully makes it very inspirational.
So I have a question. I need to know what those countertops are made of because I'm like, it's not granite. What is it? Is it beautiful?
Sure. It's a solid surfacing material, which is very durable, long-lasting, and attractive, I hope.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And one more question. The flooring?
Yes.
It was beautiful. I'm like, okay.
Tell them how little it cost. Right.
Under $2 a square foot these days, which, so also very easy to maintain, very durable, and we can achieve a lot of different things with this flooring and should last many, many years to come.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for what you do and what you've done for the community. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
One of the beauty of TSINY and the various different services that they provide, they also include art in a part of everyday life, and they get local artists to provide the art in the community and in their buildings. So this is one of the artists. Let me have your name and tell me how you got involved with TSINY, and then talk a little bit about your art.
Hi, my name is Shanae Vaughn, and I've been involved with TSINY with the Delson building. That's where it all started, working with them, with the art initiative within the community and having it in the building. And so when I heard that they was doing this again, first of all, what they do for homeless, mentally disabled, physically disabled, I'm a huge fan of it. And I feel that art alone is not just for me, right? Art is healing, it's for the community, it's therapy, visual therapy, and I just feel that the initiative to have it within the community, like we all get to have nice things, right? So I decided to create and have my art here. I spoke with them, and this work actually was created in conjunction with the architectural work of this building. So it's here to show you that throughout the building you'll notice like they have these niches where they'll be working with like local artists, including myself, and having more art coming into the facility.
Amy, tell me a little bit about the plants and the flowers that you have here today. Who donated them?
Well, the overall garden is a part of 3 gardens that are in the building. And as Betty was talking about, there is such a tranquility and curative nature of having growth around you, right? Because what's TSI motto is about growing. So the idea of over the 4 seasons that you can see plants growing as you are growing is all a part of the experience of being here. So we went out to the nursery of Escape Landscaping's wonderful company, and we picked a good amount of the plants that were a part of the construction budget. And then we met them here to plant them on 2 different trips, and they started unloading the truck. And there was, for example, this specimen tree, which is a Japanese pine, which is extremely, extremely unusual. And the owner said, this is for this great building, just take it. And we got another specimen, hydrangea trees. So these are really, really special specimens. And one of the hopes is that the Queens Botanical Gardens has a program to work with not-for-profit organizations to teach gardening. I don't know if you know about this.
No, that's
Queens
amazing.
Botanical Gardens is really quite an institution, and the intent is to have them involved. And as you can see, we have planting areas that are not fully planted so that the tenants can also get involved in planting seeds or flowers. And I don't know if you noticed, throughout the building, we have plants in the corridor areas. That's also will be part of the activities for the tenants, is that they can put plants there, they can help cultivate them, part of the experience of watching yourself grow and then watching the plants grow.
As TSINY says, getting people to rediscover themselves.
That's right. It's beautifully said, isn't it?
I'm with Betty Fouché. Please tell me about this lovely area.
Right. So welcome to the garden space, the serenity spot, the sweet spot in the building. So what you have is you're flanked by a waterfall and wrapped by 3 sides of landscaping. So as someone is sitting and visiting one of the office members, they also see beyond where the person is sitting in the office, and they get to see landscaping. They get to see the serene space, something beyond. Because normally if you're dealing with a lot of architecture, let's say in Manhattan, all you see is a brick wall. Here, you're kissed by sunlight, you're kissed by landscaping, you're kissed by serenity, and then you get to sit in it, right? So you come out to the backyard, you get to sit in the seats, and here's what's interesting about it. The 3 names of the family members, all of them had fountains at their home. So we matched the intention of the family with this design, so we closed the loop.
So Endicott Brick is one of the oldest brick kilns in the country, out of Nebraska, and they're a family-owned business. There are not many of them left. And all the brick that you see is from Endicott. There's 5 different bricks, and it includes the glazed brick, which we are the first building in the country to use this material. And the brick was made by Endicott, and then glazing artists painted on by hand the 4 different colors that Maury then created into a mural, which you also see on the outside of the building, which we did. We understand from the people in the ceramics business in New York that the tallest ceramic mural in New York City is at the Delson, which is 63 feet tall. But we now beat it, because this mural is 74 feet tall. So, but working with Endicott was just an amazing experience. And you can see the 4 different types, right? Do you want to show them more?
Yes. So I'm not sure they're all here, but we have 4 different colors and types. But one of the ones that we also included was this highly textured one that adds all of the shade and shadow and a lot of richness to the facade of the building. You can see more of the colors at the front here. But we wanted to create recreate the first floor ground floor experience from the front of the building here, and also up at the first floor terrace as well, with these window clusters and the coloration here as well.
And the other thing that was a part of the design is that we used different coursing of brick. So you see the ones that are standing up, those are called soldier coursing. They're standing up like a soldier, right? And then we have running bond, which is when they follow each other. And then we have stack bond, where one is on top of the other. So I have to say, one of our proudest moments was when the building was under construction and the masons were here. This old, guy with you could tell he'd spent his life in the sun. Yeah. And he said, "Who did this brick?" So I told him about the company, and he said, "I've been a mason." He was maybe 85 years old. He said, "I have not seen brick like this in generations." I said, "You just made my week." Yeah. I said that we honor this material. And this is a part of the story of affordability. This is very inexpensive to ship from Nebraska. There's nothing imported here. That's a very important part of the story of using local materials and working with artisans directly.
What's the importance of lighting and having it presents a special mood and effect for people. So what is some of the groundbreaking things with lighting? You see it all over with these great buildings.
I really think the lighting can bring the space to life, amplify a lot of great features of the architecture, and just be a perfect complement to everything we're trying to achieve in these spaces.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it for today's program. If you would like to find out more about TSINY's housing, just go to tsiny.org. I'm Rosalind Nieves, and I'll see you next time on Queens Public Television. Thank you.